Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am going to show you how to make a cute simple little card. I will use these materials here. This is a crocodile. I have the little round brads here by Recollections. I have a clear block, clear stamps here that I'm going to use, little swirl like that, and obviously a card base. I picked yellow. This will be our flower. Distress ink, regular ink, and this is to cut out the flower, and a pencil for me to mark where I'm gonna use the crocodile. So let's begin. First, I'd like to make the pattern or the paper or the texture for the flower. So what I'm gonna do is take my distress ink and kind of color this paper to make it look like pink flower, and we're going to cut out the flowers out of it. I'm going to close this, put this away, and take my squeeze punch. I love these, they're very easy to use. You can see what you're doing and you can cut out as many flowers as you need. What you could do if you wanted to is make one side a lot darker than the other, that way the one side will pop up a lot more, or you could use a different kind of color to go underneath or over it. So, or you can use two different distress inks on two different pieces of cardstock. So I'm gonna punch out my flower. Go a little darker here. I want to give it more dimension, so these are perfect the way they are. The second one is going to be darker. Going to have more shadow on it because these are going to go behind the other petals. So look at all the color we're applying. It's going to be beautiful. I also want to make sure it's different value. So it's going to be darker, it's going to stand out better on bright yellow. All right. Next step is sometimes any punch can do that if it's maybe hasn't been sharpened in a while. Sometimes you get a little bit. I just use scissors or I fold it back. If it's a tiny little piece, fold it back like that. Looks good. So perfect. See how it stands out nice and dark. So now we can put this away, and I will take my stamps out. Which one do I want? I want this one. This one's going to be perfect. Alright, cut this off. I will mount it onto my clear block here. And now I'm going to see where and how I want it to go, because I want to make sure the flower is going to go right on top, like that. So, do I want it straight? Do I want it slightly tilted like that? I think I like it slightly tilted, so that's how it's going to go. You can use a clear block. If you have Misty, might be easier to align, but I don't mind using clear blocks like that. But since a lot of you guys know how to use Misty and love using Misty, what I could also do is just stick the card in here. Okay, and make sure you put the right side up, and put where you want the flower, where the stem to go, and then let's see, that's gonna look nice and even. And now I'll close my Misty. And now I can ink. Now you can choose black ink, brown ink. I like the look of the black ink on yellow. It's gonna pop real nice. And you ink it up real well. And then you close it. The beauty of Misty tool is that if something doesn't stamp through the first time, you can always re-ink it and apply it, and it's easy. Alright, and here we go. I missed one little spot, so I'm going to re-ink it. I'm going to make sure I press on that side here. Perfect. Beautiful. So elegant. Close this. And now I'll take this out and add the flower. Obviously I need to clean the stamp and take it out. I'll do that in a minute after I show how to finish the card. And so now we take the darker flower and the lighter flower, and I will layer probably another light one underneath it, and you can go as many layers as you want, or you can go 2 dark layers and 1 light layer, whatever it is that you like. Sometimes I use gold foil or shiny paper to go underneath, nice and sparkly. So if that's if you like the way that looks, I like the way that looks. You can go ahead and pick up your flower and use the crocodile tool to make the hole in it. I like making these daisies. So rotate it. Now take the crocodile tool. Make sure the setting is set to the little hole, not the big one. You could use other tools for this. I just like my crocodile. Use it anytime I can. Now I will put the flower here for now and see where I need to make the hole. Do I want it lower, higher, to the right, to the left? I think I like it here, so I'm just going to use my pencil to give myself a guide here as to where to make the crocodile hole. And we're going to go, make sure you open the card so you don't punch through both layers. Make the hole. And now the fun part is you pick out the brand color. Probably going to go with green, because usually the flowers are green inside. And you can pick the small one or the little one. I mean the small one or the big one. Either one will work. And you stick that through. Okay. Perfect. And then you spread the petals and go through here. It's gonna be one beautiful, simple card. I've given it out to my friends and they always like it. It's just so nice and simple. If you want to add more, you can always add more. You can punch out the corners with a corner punch. You could use the distress inks to kind of weather the card, which I could do now. I would probably use a different ink than I used on the flower. So if you want to add that kind of thing, I'd probably use something that just is a little darker than your paper. I would get a new sponge here, or whatever these things are called. Ink it up. And now I don't want to go on paper too much, so I'm going to start over to the side and just gradually bring them. This will add texture and dimension to my card. It's not going to be as flat anymore. It's going to look aged. So what else this did is it created a highlight around the flower, and it brings it more to your attention. It's a nice delicate flower in here. Alright, look at that beautiful card that will make very quick and easy card. And now inside, if you want to put a note in, I like sometimes to stamp right on the card base. It's even if it's light color, it looks good. You can stamp whatever sentiment you want here, or you can always add a little bit of a paper here and stamp over it and glue it on. And then at the very end, on the bottom of the card, I usually add "just for you from" or "made with love by," and these are from Stampendo's. Hand stamped for you, handcrafted for you. I like the handcrafted for you, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to stamp it at the very back of the card. Alright, there's a cute little card. Thank you for watching my tutorials.